whoever was trying to say it, I just didn't understand what you were talking about. I need better English to understand. When I'm in the middle of the show, I can only read things quickly. So if you don't tell me what's really going on, that's why I get annoyed, because I can't sit here and go, let's stop the show and have you write that again in English. It just sort of doesn't help. You got to tell me what's going on. Gunther, is it doing it still? So let's see a second here. Well, at least Discord's been good. Gunther? Much better? Okay, I've got it going through my computer now, but who the hell knows? Who the hell knows? All right, let's keep rolling, guys. I know this was my YouTube, no, my Amazon cup that I don't think they sell anymore, but I love this cup. It's really cool, my little Ukraine cup. Let's keep going. So Trump's approval, very bad. Key constituencies, this was interesting too. Among key constituencies, Trump's popularity is going down as well. In particular, white non-college voters. So whites who never went to college. Used to be a core Democratic constituency. Now they're a Republican constituency. Big Trump supporters. So in other words, whites who never went to college, right? Big Trump supporters. In February, they supported Trump's 63%. Now it's 55%. There's still a majority supporting him, but he dropped 8% in the polls, which is very interesting. Other constituencies, age 18 to 34-year-olds. In February, 41% supported Trump. Today, 35%, drop of 6%. Non-white voters, February 36%, today 26%, drop of 10 points. Independents, February 43% support for Trump. Today, 31%, a drop of 12 points. That's really good. Independents are key, because independents are some of those voters that go back and forth and back and forth. So it's kind of a big deal that they're dropping Trump. Let me see here. Trump's approval, Trump approval by issue. This is very interesting. How do voters feel about Trump based on each individual issue? Okay, this one intrigued me. Listen to this. So on specific issues, do you approve or disapprove of what Trump is doing today? Gender identity, meaning transgender issues, 51% still approve. See, this is the danger on trans issues, is Paul isn't on our side, or your side, or whoever's side that isn't on the side of transgender rights activists, okay? That's not good. Immigration, 45% approve. That's kind of getting interesting, because on immigration, the Republicans usually do very well. I would have thought the voters would have had less problem with Trump doing the horrific things he's doing in immigration. Honestly, 45% isn't terrible, because on immigration, it's a very conservative issue. You'd like better, but it's below 50, that's not bad. Managing the government, 42%. That's very interesting. Foreign affairs, 39%. That's interesting, because foreign affairs, again, tends to be an issue that Republicans do very well. People think Republicans are strong on defense and this kind of stuff, right? That's interesting. The economy, 39%. Now you're getting pretty bad. Only 39% of voters approve of Trump's handling of the economy. Now, again, for Republicans tend to do much better than Democrats on the economy. Voters tend to trust Republicans. That means they're not liking what Trump is doing. That's good. Inflation, only 35% approve. Tariffs, only 35% approve. That's excellent. Again, on inflation, if only 35% of the country approves of what Trump is doing on inflation, it's very bad for him, because Trump won the election based on inflation. He claimed he was going to fix inflation on day one, and he's actually making it worse with the tariffs. That's really good. People who don't, it's really good for anybody who's anti-Trump, is what I mean. What do you think of the new poll? What do you think of the current economic conditions? Are they good or are they poor? 28% of Americans think the current economic conditions are good. 28%. 71% say the current economic conditions are poor. That gets very interesting, because polls show overall that Trump has so gotten involved with the economy with tariffs and with interest rates and the Fed and all this kind of crap, that people are no longer thinking of this as Joe Biden's economy. They're looking already and saying, Trump took it over. Trump is raising prices. Trump is causing unemployment. Trump is risking a recession. So this is Trump's economy, and voters, 28% think it's a good Trump economy. 71% think it's a poor Trump economy. Excellent point. Thank you, Martin, for the gift. And as well, keep the gifts coming, guys. I do this for a living, so your gifts help pay the bills. I appreciate it. Finally, how have Trump's economic policies affected us? How have they affected you? Trump's economic policy, or Trump's policies. Economic conditions. How have Trump's policies affected economic conditions in America? Okay. In March, 51% said Trump made the economy worse in March. Today, 59% say Trump made the economy worse. Made the economy better. In March, 28%. Today, 27%. So that number hasn't changed. A large number, though, 8 percentage points. People now, by another increase in 8 percentage points, people think Trump has made the economy worse. Thank you, Heather, for the popular vote. Also, I did see Elvis pop up. Elvis, it's hiding. Okay, it's hiding Elvis from me. I hate when it does that. Whoever gave me the little Elvis helmet, thank you very much. That is one of those. Oh, there it is, Luis. Oh, I see it now, Luis. It was hiding it. Thank you, Luis. I appreciate that. It was no, it was. You know what? It was a different color. So when I scrolled up, I couldn't find it. Thank you for that. I was middle of reading it. I saw it. I said, I'm going to thank him when it's done. Thank you for that. Thank you, Find Out, for the colorful wings, and Mike and everybody else for the other candy, virtual candy. So yes, economic conditions. People think Trump has made, by 59%. People think Trump has made the economy worse. Thank you, Luis. And who is that? Tony as well, and Cat Quest. Okay, that's it for the economy stuff. But again, interesting because that's good if voters think Trump is screwing up. The question is, as I said, this weekend there were some polls showing it's not like voters like Democrats more as a result. They still don't like Democrats, but they think Trump is really screwing things up. Having said that, we're 100 days in. Voters need to feel like he's screwing things up or he's not going to be stopped. Thank you, Cheryl. Fascist U.S. attorney in Washington. So we have a U.S. attorney. Washington, D.C., it's kind of complicated the way things work here because we're a federal district. We're a city, but we're not part of a state, so we don't have representation in the U.S. Senate. It's really bad. And the sort of prosecution of crimes in Washington goes to a U.S. attorney who's appointed by the Justice Department. Trump appointed a fascist, actually, as his U.S. attorney, Ed Martin, in Washington, D.C. Rather than fighting crime, which is supposed to be the guy's job, thank you, Bryce, he's been threatening free speech and democratic freedoms and threatening the Constitution. He's gone and threatened members of Congress, throwing them in jail. He threatened Wikipedia. He's threatened to take away Wikipedia's nonprofit status because people are writing mean things about Republicans in the Wikipedia entries. Guess who else bans Wikipedia? Russia, Putin. Putin bans Wikipedia because Putin was upset that Wikipedia told the truth about the war in Ukraine. Trump's guy in Washington, D.C. is trying to basically defund and shut down Wikipedia because they write the truth about Donald Trump. It is pure fascism. It is pure Russian. It is not just fascism. I mean, it's authoritarian across the board. It's what the communist Chinese would do. It's what the communist Soviets did. It is what the fascist Russians would do. This guy also, where's the other thing? So he went after Wikipedia, or he's going after Wikipedia, I should say. He also, this guy, he's writing and threatening medical journals. Medical journals. He doesn't like the medicine that the big medical journals are writing about because he thinks it's biased against Republicans. Why is that? Because the big medical journals in America believe in medicine. They believe in science. And if you believe in science today and you write in favor of science, guess who gets very upset? Anybody who doesn't believe in science. Who doesn't believe in science? I'll let you take two guesses, right? Right? We know who appointed RFK Jr., the top health official in America, right? Very scary stuff. So listen to this. At least 3 medical journals have received letters from the U.S. Department of Justice questioning their editorial practices and standards, prompting several journals to push back and assert their independence. The British journal, The Lancet, thank you for the cake there. Sorry, a couple of you guys there. Oh, sorry, who's the cake is Tony, I think. Thank you, Tony. The British journal, The Lancet, which did not receive one of the letters, published an editorial describing the inquiries as harassment and intimidation, adding that U.S. science was being violently dismembered by the Trump administration. Last week, interim U.S. Attorney for the District of Columbia, Ed Martin, sent a letter to the Chest Journal, a scientific journal for chest doctors, implying it was partisan and asking a series of questions about the steps it took to include competing viewpoints and protecting the public from misinformation. Thank you for the wings, Tony. Guys, the guy who's supposed to be fighting crime in Washington, D.C. is sending letters to a journal that writes about the chest doctors that deal with your chest, your lungs, your heart, right? Your whatever, your breathing, right? He's writing threatening letters to them saying, I think the medical essays you write about people's pulmonary problems are biased against Republicans. Thank you, Emma, for subscribing. How do you write an article about heart problems, about heart attacks, that's biased against Republicans? How does that actually work, right? I don't even understand what that means. This is what these guys are doing. This is what is so scary about what these guys are doing. Again, it's meant to, we know the purpose. Well, we know the purpose. The purpose is to scare. The purpose is to chill. The purpose is to scare these journals into becoming more MAGA, more Republican, put out Republican propaganda. The only thing is, if I were running a medical journal covering heart and lung issues, I would say, well, I know you're trying to threaten me. I know you want to write heart and lung studies that are more pro-MAGA, but I don't understand what a pro-MAGA heart and lung study is. Like, it's just a heart and lung study. It's not Democratic or Republican. What does it even mean? Thank you, Robert, for subscribing there. You know what I mean? This is weird. This is weird stuff. It's really weird. Yeah, woke pulmonary, exactly. Woke pulmonary research, as Julian said. I mean, it's very strange stuff. It doesn't make sense. Interesting. Phoenix is saying it has to deal with trans issues. Maybe. I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, there is some weird thing going on here that we don't understand about why they're trying to do this. Again, as we saw with COVID, these guys are able to take a nonpartisan issue and make it partisan. They've done it on COVID. They've now done it on vaccines across the board, right? And they've taken an issue, vaccines that are good things, vaccines that have been proven effective for hundreds of years, and they claim they don't work, right? Trump's top health expert, RFK Jr., he doesn't think the polio vaccine works. He doesn't think the polio, and it does, but he doesn't think the polio vaccine is effective. It is effective. Polio vaccine is probably the most effective vaccine in the history, probably one of the most effective medicines in the history of the world, polio vaccine. An amazing development, amazing medicine. Trump's people think it's bad. I mean, scary stuff, very scary stuff. This was good news, at least. As part of the overall Trump's fascism, thank you, Isley. Trump is trying to, again, they're trying to, it's about a fascist takeover of our government, really. They are trying to scare scientists. They're trying to scare the universities, right? They're trying to scare the lawyers, because what do lawyers do? Lawyers defend our rights. I mean, lawyers do a lot of things, but lawyers defend our rights, right? Thank you, Carrie. I mean, we are still a democracy, although he's trying to undermine that. If you come after me, the government, illegally, I hire a lawyer. Well, if you can scare the lawyers into not representing anybody, you can be as fascist as you want. So they're going after lawyers. They're going after universities. The universities not only do the science that they don't believe in anymore, but the universities also create the next generation. They want to indoctrinate the next generation into not believing in what we used to believe in, which is democracy and freedom, right? And the Constitution and liberty. It's very scary stuff. So now, one good thing is the universities have banded together. The Wall Street Journal had an article on this today. A number of the top universities banded together. Thank you, Addie, for subscribing, and said, we are going to basically work together so that if Trump comes after any of us, we will all hold together. And the idea is it's peace through strength or peace through numbers, but it's also the idea that the universities are all cooperating, the top universities, so that if Trump threatens them with something, they can have a unified response rather than one university caving and then the other ones might have to cave. Actually, that's very funny. Savage Rabbit called it University NATO. That's actually brilliant. Actually, it's absolutely brilliant. A couple of you came up with it simultaneously. Yeah, it's University NATO. And that's exactly what it is. It's the idea that we all are here to defend each other, and if any of us are attacked, we will all collectively defend. Very interesting. What else we got here? Oh, this was great. So Trump, I just, the lies matter. The lies really do matter. Thank you, Mr. Phoenix. A lot of you are subscribing today, or maybe somebody's giving free subscription gifts out on TikTok? A little suspicious here. There's Scully too. Somebody's giving free subscriptions out. Who's doing it? Somebody's doing it, I think. Thank you, whoever's doing it. Blue is okay. Thank you, Blue. I was going to say too many popped up in a row. Thank you for that. Appreciate that, Blue. Thank you. Oh, Scully paid. Oh, Scully paid. Okay, Scully. Thank you. Don't want to not give you credit, but thanks. In any case, the Trump today claimed that his tariffs might just let him get rid of U.S. income taxes. No longer have to pay income tax because we're going to make so much money on tariffs. Here's the problem. Tariffs are a sales tax, basically. That's what tariffs are. They're a sales tax on goods coming into the country. You and I pay them. American companies pay them. They're not paid by the Chinese goods. Trump puts 145% tariffs on Chinese goods. The Chinese aren't paying it. It's a tax. It's 145% tax. If something costs $100 coming from China, it will now cost $100 plus $145 tax. So it'll be $245. Okay. Thank you, Helion. Thank you, Tony. Well, Trump is now claiming we're going to make so much money from all the taxes I've put on goods coming in the U.S. that he's going to potentially get rid of all income tax. So we no longer have to pay taxes. But think about that. He's lying. I mean, he's lying in this way. He's going to put such a tax on you. He's going to charge you so much sales tax on the products you buy, that we're going to pay so much more for everything you and I buy from Amazon at the grocery store that we won't have to pay income taxes because he's the same amount you would pay in income tax, he's going to earn from us at the grocery store. So instead of paying, I don't know, $10,000 a year or $15,000 a year in income tax, you're going to pay $15,000 extra at the grocery store and on Amazon. How is that not? That makes no sense. That isn't getting rid of it. I mean, this is the really sleazy, and I'm sorry, it is kind of sleazy aspect of an argument like that. You tell people, I'm going to get rid of your income tax. You go, oh my God, that's amazing. And you don't realize he's able to get rid of your income tax because he's going to raise you, again, get rid of your $15,000 a year income tax because he's going to hit you with a $15,000 tax somewhere else. And in this case, it's a consumer tax on tariffs. That's what he's doing. And I mean, guys, this isn't even debatable when I'm telling you. That's literally what he's talking about. And he said it today. And here's the other reason you need to be careful, because Trump thinks he's going to tax you enough on all of your purchases here in America, raise the sales tax, which would be a tariff, so much that you won't have to pay income taxes because you'll pay so much in tariffs. Here's the problem. How do you know that the increased sales tax he's putting on everything is going to be equal to what you pay in income tax? Again, let's pretend you pay, I don't know what the average family pays in income tax. Let's pretend it's $15,000. Maybe it's a lot more than that. I don't know. Let's say it's $15,000, okay? $15,000 in income tax currently. But now Trump puts a tax on everything you buy from Amazon, everything from abroad, but that's everything. From Amazon, from the grocery store, your car, your homes, etc. Right? He puts a tax on that. So now instead of you paying $15,000 in income tax, you're going to pay, say, $15,000 in tariffs. The problem is it $15,000 in tariffs? He's going to get rid of, let's say he gets rid of the income tax like he's promising. How much are you paying in tariffs each month or each year? I don't know. We all have tariffs. We've always had some tariffs. I don't pay tariffs each month, right? I'm not going to know. Is Trump going to only charge us $15,000 a year in tariffs, a person? What if he charges us $20,000 a year? So like he's going to get rid of income tax because he's going to tariff us so much. But what if the tariff costs even more than the income tax? We don't know. And it easily could. Because again, a tariff is simply a tax that you and I will pay on things we buy from abroad, which is everything. 77% of American toys come from China, a fact that I didn't even know about. Every American car has parts from abroad. Every American car, 50% of every American car has parts that come from abroad. All of them are being taxed. Final point, and the Americans will understand this, the Europeans or the rest of you may not understand this because it's an American retirement thing. He's going to get rid of IRAs and 401ks. What happens to our retirement? He hasn't said this yet, but if he gets rid of the income tax, what happens to our IRAs, right? The whole point of the IRA was two things. One, when we put money away into our IRAs and our 401ks, it's not taxed. It's a deduction on our taxes. That's the benefit we get, right? That guy's getting banned, by the way, guys. Mods, remember what I said about people that cross the line, especially? That one gets banned, though. Ash, yeah, exactly. Make sure that one's banned. Thank you. What's going to happen to our 401ks and our IRAs? Your 401k and your IRA, your American retirement contribution, is a deduction on your income tax. That's the benefit of it. If you're not paying income tax, it's no longer a deduction. So it's no longer a 401k contribution, right? I mean, I don't understand what this is. Well, you might pay the tax when you withdraw, but that's even worse because you're not getting the deduction today. The way a 401k and an IRA works is you get two benefits. Well, not two benefits. The benefit you get is you don't pay taxes today on the money. You get to deduct it. So you make $100,000 a year and you put $10,000 into your IRA. For tax purposes, you've only made $90,000 now. You don't count the other $10,000 on your taxes. It's a deduction. But when you retire in 30 years and take the money out, you'll pay taxes. The problem is if Trump gets rid of income tax, you will still pay taxes on all that money when you take it out. But if you want to put $10,000 away this year, how are you going to do it? You can't. There's no deduction for you to take. The deduction's your benefit. There's no deduction if there's no income tax. Get it? No, I mean, this, and I haven't seen anybody talk about this yet. I heard Trump today and immediately went, wait a minute, what the hell happens to my IRA and my 401k contributions? They're gone. This is really screwy. It's really freaking screwy stuff, you know? He's not a CPA, and it is really dumb. It is Fred's getting banned as well, mods, just so you know. Not just a mute for that one. Disinformation, people. We do not accept disinformation on this show. But yeah, very scary stuff. But definitely block that one too, Ash. Really scary stuff what he's doing. Really scary stuff. What else we got here? Canadian elections. The Canadian elections are today. That's great. This is very funny. Where's the tweet? Hold on. I'm going to find this tweet. Trump yesterday pretty much came out in favor of the Canadian Conservatives. It was the funniest damn thing. It was the funniest damn thing. I mean, like Trump's going to help the Canadian Conservatives win when every other sentence out of him is talking about annexing Canada. Hold on. Trump tweet Canada election. It was just yesterday, though. I've got to see if I can find it. I hope to God I can find it. Here it is. I mean, the Conservatives in Canada are hating themselves, absolutely hating themselves here. Hold on. Trump Monday morning writes, elect the man who has the strength and wisdom to cut your taxes in half. Trump telling the Canadians, make sure you elect the man who's going to turn Canada into an American state, suggesting that one of the two will do that, a conservative or the liberal. Right? And I got news for you. If one of the two is going to make Canada become an American state and lose its sovereignty, it's not going to be the liberal, it's going to be the conservative, right? Because the conservative is more in line with Donald Trump. He's talking about electing the conservative. I don't think he's talking about himself. I don't think he is at all, because you're not going to elect him. Elect the man who has the strength and wisdom to cut your taxes in half, steal, blah, blah, blah. And then he says, if Canada becomes the cherished 51st state of the United States of America, blah, blah, blah. He's out of his mind. This has not been helpful to the conservatives in Canada. They are also anti-Trump, saying, because what do you can't run for prime minister and say, we want to get rid of, eliminate the entire Canadian nation. But this is not great for Canadian conservatives. The election's already happening. When do we get results in Canada? Any of our Canadian friends here? When do we get results in Canada? Like, how long does it take tonight? Thank you for the gifts there, by the way, Tony. How long does it take to get the results? 3 hours? What do you mean, in 3 hours? So tonight, it will be tonight. Okay. But like at what time? Does it usually take just a couple hours? Or when do we, I'm talking the final results. When do we know who wins? 3 to 4 hours, Dennis is saying? Another 4 hours? Okay. 10:30, well, 10:30 Eastern, I guess. 4 hours. Okay. Okay. Thank you for the gifts there. Who's that? Oh, that's Tony. Thank you, Tony. Lots of cakes. Okay, so 9:30, 10 o'clock tonight. Very interesting. But bottom line is, Trump is not helping things by the day of the Canadian elections or the morning of the Canadian elections saying, Canada, make sure you vote to eliminate your country because I'm coming for you. I mean, and I'm again sorry, Canada. We love you. He's doing worse things to us, but I feel your pain because obviously he's doing this to us as well. That is it for the Trump news, et cetera, today. We can talk about a little bit of Ukraine stuff. There's Ukraine news as well. Thank you, user 336. There is my head is itchy. I just had pizza. I get itchy when I have garlic. I hate that. I've got little garlic allergies, but there's not a lot I can do about it because everything has garlic. You want to go out again, dog? All right. Go do your thing. A little bit of Ukraine. So Putin. This is interesting. Trump attacked Putin this weekend, or criticized Putin again. Itchy head again. Trump criticized Putin this weekend, and Putin got worried. So Putin came out today and said, 3-day ceasefire. I propose a 3-day ceasefire next week. Russia does a big celebration on May 9th or whatever it is. Russia likes to pretend they saved the world in World War II. They didn't. We actually saved them in World War II, the Brits and us, maybe some others too, meaning as far as Lend-Lease. Actually, a lot of countries did in terms of D-Day and Normandy. I mean, all of us did collectively, the French, the Australians, the Canadians. I mean, a lot of the Brits. We all came. The Dutch. Who else was there? I always forget. Whenever I talk about D-Day, I don't like leaving anybody out. But it was a huge coalition on D-Day. That was important for helping to save Europe, taking back Normandy, northern France from the Germans, the Poles as well, the Canadians. I said, yep. What was I saying? D-Day. Oh yeah, the Russians. I always like to point this out because it's important to remember. The Russians never stopped talking about how they saved Europe in World War II. Russia didn't save Europe. Russia captured Europe and held it hostage for nearly 50 years. Russia didn't save Europe. Russia helped start World War II. The Russians were in cahoots with the Germans. Come on, you. No sticks for you. The Russians were in cahoots with the Germans. The Russians and the Germans before World War II signed a secret pact. Well, not so secret, but I think it had like a secret codicil or whatever. The Molotov-Ribbentrop Pact. And it basically was the foreign ministers, I think it was, of both countries, of Russia, Soviet Union, and the Germans, agreeing that the Germans should start World War II. They should go invade everybody. The Russians would not get involved because that was the Germans' big fear, was having to fight Russia at the same time they invaded all their neighbors. The Russians said, oh, no, it's okay. Go invade your neighbors. Doing her thing. Oh, there we go. For you guys, at least. Well, except it was a quick play. She played quickly, and then it was over, the dog, Sasha. And the Russians said, go invade Germany, start World War II. We'll stay out of it, but we're going to cut Poland in half. And not just Poland, actually. I was reading, it's also some of the other, like part of Lithuania or something, but there was, the Russians and the Germans agreed they were going to invade Poland and cut it in half and steal a bunch of other land in the area. Like I said, like Lithuania, some of the other places. Russia literally helped start World War II by making it comfortable for the Germans to invade. Okay, that's the first problem. Second of all, the Russians then invaded Eastern Europe. They then took Poland. They also committed a horrific massacre in Poland where they slaughtered between 20 and 30,000 Polish military officers. Thank you, Terry. It's called the Katyn Massacre, K-A-T-Y-N. I always like to remind people, Google it, K-A-T as in Tom, Y-N as in Nancy. They slaughtered, I think it's like 22, 23,000. It's like between 20 and 30,000. They literally took Polish military prisoners of war, marched them into the forest, and shot them all and killed them. Horrific human rights abuse. Horrific. Against the Russians. Then what happens? World War II ends only after the Americans and the Brits come to Russia as Russia becomes our ally. Oh, by the way, I always like to mention, why did Russia start to fight Germany at the second half of World War II? Thank you, Jetta. Because the Germans beat up the Russians. The Germans turned around and fought the Russians. That's why. The Germans invaded Russia. So the Russians didn't have a choice but to go to war with their ally, the Germans. And the Russians like to say, oh, we were at war with Germany. You were at war with Germany because they were your friends and they stabbed you in the back. Again, Google the history. It's all there. What does Russia do? So then the Brits, Russia's in trouble fighting the Germans. They could lose. The Brits come to their aid. The Americans come to their aid. Lend-Lease, right? We go and we help save Russia. What does Russia do to thank all of us for helping to save them in World War II? They took half of Europe hostage. Dog wants water. It's our usual break time in the show where the dog gets more water. We'll continue our history lesson in 1 second. 1 moment. I'm coming. All right. All right. Okay, so what happens? World War II ends. We win. We beat the Germans. Yay! What does Russia do? They say, this is great. We're going to take half of Europe hostage and turn it into a huge communist dictatorship, oppress the people and kill them. And that's what Russia did. They took half of Europe hostage. They cut Germany in two. One big piece, 2/3, one small piece, East Germany. They took Czechoslovakia hostage. They took Hungary hostage. They took Romania hostage. They took Poland hostage. They took Bulgaria hostage. They took all these countries hostage. Right? They literally took Latvia, Lithuania, and Estonia and just ate them and turned these independent countries into vassals. I mean, not even vassals. They became part of the Soviet Union, run by Russia, basically. For the next 45 years, the Russians installed communist dictatorships, in horrific dictatorships in these countries. They killed, it was a police state. The East German police, secret police, had files on, I believe it was 1/3. It was 1/3 or 2/3 of the population that they had files. Imagine the secret police having files on 1/3 of the population. They were called the Stasi, exactly, Frank. In Czechoslovakia, in Hungary, there were democratic uprisings by students, young people. The Russians came in with tanks and killed them all. I mean, this is the history of World War II. Every year at May 9th or whatever it is, and the Russians claim we should all remember their contribution to World War II. Yeah, we should. When the Russians were allies of the Germans, when they gave the Germans permission to start World War II, and then when the Russians finished World War II by taking half of Europe hostage and killing people for 45 years and keeping them under a horrific communist dictatorship in Eastern Europe. That is the history of Russia. Right? It's that it was called the Iron Curtain, falling across Europe. So it matters to me. It matters to me because this stuff, you know, it's. I mean, I sort of grew up with this stuff. I'm an American, of course, but I grew up with this stuff, and I was around and studied it and worked on the issues with when Eastern Europe was communist, and it's horrific what the Russians did to these people. Anyway, all right. So Putin is proposing a three-day, cessation of hostilities, a 3-day ceasefire. And he wants it to happen next week during their celebration for taking Europe hostage after World War II. And the Ukrainians responded and said, well, that's nice. If you can do a 3-day ceasefire, why don't you do the 30-day ceasefire that Donald Trump already proposed? Brilliant of the Ukrainians to say this, by the way. They said, Trump proposed a 30-day ceasefire. We agreed. If you're willing to do a 3-day ceasefire, just do the 30-day one that Donald Trump proposed. Because what they're trying to do is show that the Russians truly don't care about peace, but also drive a little wedge between the Russians and the Americans and Trump, to remind Trump that they're saying no to your peace proposal. So let's see what happens. And let's see what happens. I don't know. News is here. I don't know. They're clearly the Russians are worried because Trump got mad at them this weekend. Let me read this what Trump wrote this weekend. Trump was tweeting this weekend on his little social media platform. There's no reason for Putin to be shooting missiles into civilian areas, cities, and towns in Ukraine. Very good of Trump to say that, by the way. Over the last few days, it makes me think that maybe Putin doesn't want to stop the war. He's just tapping me along. I don't know what that means, but we know what that means. It's not English, though. Tapping me along, it means stringing me along, and has to be dealt with differently through banking or secondary sanctions. Too many people are dying. So basically, Trump this weekend threatened to put additional sanctions on the Russians. And that's when Putin suggested a 3-day ceasefire. This will be interesting to see if Trump falls for this or what. I don't know. But it's very interesting. That's it. That's it for the news today. Actually, that did go a long time, but most of the news was the Trump, or not? Yeah, the first part of the show talking about Trump and America's descent into fascism. But alrighty, let me sit back a minute here. Alrighty, ready. So yes, let's hang and talk. Our usual hang up. Oops. Get my water. So now is the part of the show we hang and we chat. Whatever you guys want to talk about. any of these issues, your comments, your thoughts. Princess Sasha's good. She's back in her little bed under the table now, so that's good. North Carolina Supreme Court elections, not even aware of what's going on with them. So, sorry. The two-chair meeting at the Vatican was interesting. I'm not sure what you mean. India and Pakistan? I don't know that there is anything new. I mean, there was a horrific terrorist attack like a week ago. The Indians went to Pakistanis, they cut sort of diminishing diplomatic relations they put back, but I didn't see any updates on it. Bosie, that would make sense. I don't know if they are though. Bosie said, is China shipping products that normally come to the US, are they shipping them somewhere else? That would make sense. The only problem is, you need buyers. Just because they're not going to the US doesn't mean it doesn't mean there's demand elsewhere, right? Demand is that if they're already meeting, the question is whether the current demand is being met, right? Let's say India wants to buy stuff from China. Is India able to, widgets, that's what we used to use in law school, economics was widgets. Let's say India buys widgets from China and the US is no longer buying widgets from China because of the tariffs. India could buy more widgets because now there's more widgets available, the American widgets, right? The American purchased widgets. But does India want more widgets? I don't think the countries would have to have greater demand than the supply, right? The only way the Chinese could sell the American destined products to other countries would be if the other countries wanted so much and the Chinese couldn't make enough. And now they go, oh my God, we got more. But I don't know that that's the case. I suspect some of it probably. Thank you, Herman, or German for subscribing. German for subscribing. But I suspect some of it is probably that the other countries pick up the slack. Oh, hey Daniel. Oh, that was a while ago. I haven't sold or auctioned off a Wagner Group patch in a long time. Thank you. More subscriptions. I'm going to guess that's Blue or something. Thank you. What else? I know I always like the widget examples. Maybe laugh in school though. I haven't thought of that in a long time. What else? So yeah, we can talk about the domestic U.S. stuff. We can talk about the Trump stuff. We can talk about TikTok, Ukraine, TikTok. What do you do besides news on TikTok? I do news on TikTok and YouTube, and then news throughout the day. I do news. I mean, I've done lots of stuff. You can go look at my LinkedIn. You see everything I've done over my life. It's linked through my profile on TikTok. Care. Who's Caroline? I don't know what that means, Nikki. I don't know who Caroline is. I'm not sure what you're talking about there, Nikki. Criminals on the White. Lots of criminals on the White House lawn, but not sure which ones you're talking about specifically. Exactly. My most important job is taking care of my dog. What else? That's it. The government says the port of Shanghai, China, is just as busy as ever, but the port of Los Angeles is empty. I also read, I don't know if it's true, but I read in the last day somebody was showing a graphic claiming that there is a ton of ships leaving. They're basically stuck in Chinese ports. Ships that were coming to the U.S. and they're kind of stuck. See, part of the problem is the Americans could have paid for this stuff already too. Like, it's kind of a mess right now what's going on. Like, if the Americans have already paid, you can't give the products to somebody else. Like, I think it's a bit of a disaster. There was an article I was going to read, a couple articles from Bloomberg and everything I meant to read earlier. I forgot. I've got to look at them later. But oh, they put up pictures of the immigrants. Lovely. That's great. Lovely. Anyway. Thank you, Jens. Did you hear about Michael Bloss, the son of? Oh yeah. So the son of one of the CIA deputy directors was killed in Ukraine fighting for the Russians in 2024. That was a crazy story. He volunteered for the Russians, and his mom is one of the deputy directors of the CIA. Now, what I don't remember, Jens or somebody else, is she a Trump appointee or is she like a normal career CIA person? That's my question. Is she a normal person whose son just went crazy, or is she like a Trumper whose son was involved with the Russians? I did not see in the articles I read any mention. I believe she's just a regular CIA person, I think. But if anybody knows, um, you know, if anybody knows, let me. Yeah, TikTok is being a little slow today, isn't it? I mean, we're just turnouts. I mean, it's Monday. It's a nice weather too. We're getting slower turnout on TikTok this evening. They tried to get him to come home. I would hope they would try to get him to come home. And that's insane. Wow. Wow. Oh man. What else is going on? What else is going on here? What else is going on here? I'll look at my. See if I can find news. It's here. For you, right. Oh yeah. This is another. This is another grift from the Trump people. They've launched a new club in Washington D.C. that you could pay money to Donald Trump's to Donald Trump Jr. and the sons of other top Trump officials. If you want to pay a lot of money to the children of the top people in Washington, with no connection at all to lobbying, to buying influence. Membership fee $500,000. The owners are Donald Trump Jr., the son of Steve Witkoff. Steve Witkoff is the pro-Russian guy. He's got negotiating Russia-Ukraine stuff. Founding members, David Sachs. Oh, God, Tyler and Cameron Winklevoss. They're these weird, I think they're weird, crypto brothers. And David Sachs is just, wow, he's another crypto weirdo. But wow, that's nice. So yeah, if you want to put money in the pocket of the Trump family, there's now another grift. They already had their crypto coin that you could buy and get influence with Donald Trump. Donald Trump promised the top people who buy their coin going to have a special meeting with the Russians. So and it's the one who's buy the most. So now it's a competition on who can put the most money in Trump's personal pocket. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. Absolutely crazy. Exactly. Imagine Biden doubles. It's corrupt as hell. Hello. Hello. I see that in your mouth. Very exciting. Hi. I know. Hi. Oh, man. Oh, hello. You got to be invited? Oh, that's interesting. That's interesting. Invited. Special invitation just for you. 500. Would you like to pay me $500,000? Special just for you. Yes. Lovely. Lovely. Unbelievable, you know. Yeah. But now it's cutting in and out on there too. Sasha, come on! I gave you more water. Don't do this to me. Oh, that's because it's YouTube. That's why it's cutting in and out. Yeah, I'm gonna guess everybody remaining on Discord. I assume Discord isn't cutting in and out, right? Once again, the sound is fine on Discord. This is a YouTube problem. We don't know what's going on, but it's YouTube. But yes, I'm assuming Discord is fine. Katie's about to tell us. So the sound is not coming in and out on Discord. Lost you with the mug? Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, honey, we lost you. We lost you. I like that. You gotta love people who are like, I can't watch your show. Mug that says you stand with Ukraine against or committing war crimes according to the International Criminal Court. Yeah, I'm sorry. Pretty wild standing against the Russians for freedom for the Europeans. Yeah, you would have hated me during World War II. Hold on. More water? All right. A little more water, and then we're done with you. All right? A little more water, then we're done. All right. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Unbelievable. Yeah. Like I I said, they hated me during World War II. She's wandering around. She doesn't really like me picking her up, so I don't pick her up a lot because she gets kind of annoyed. But there are no sound settings, Jason. There's no such thing as a sound setting on YouTube. There's no such thing as a sound setting. YouTube is literally taking the sound from my laptop. It's not using the microphone. You're getting the sound from my laptop computer. That's what I'm saying. This is YouTube. Or somehow Discord is upsetting things. I mean, that's what I'm wondering. You think Discord is somehow, let me look at my Discord settings and see if there's any possibility that Discord can somehow, grab, somehow, like you said, there is a Discord priority thing, I think. Let me look at it. Maybe that's doing it. Maybe, because it's definitely not Discord. Camera. Discord, can you even see me? Why does it think my camera is, that's weird. Hold on here. Voice. Voice activity, hang on here. Combine, mic check, input, voice activity, sensitivity, fine, cancellation, noise suppression, not, advanced voice activity, automatic gate control. Oh, here we go. Hints that the package Discord are high priority. Let's try this. Hold on. No, that's already off. No, the high priority thing is off anyway. Yeah. I don't know what's going on with this. Uh-oh. Yeah. No, Discord is not doing this. This is some problem. I swear to God, this is some problem once again with YouTube. It's screwing up. Yeah, there's nothing with Discord at all. Nope. I have no idea why. Yeah, no idea why. Apartment tour? Never. You're not gonna get tour my apartment. That means, first of all, I'd have to clean way too much. Also, there isn't much of a tour. It's one bedroom. A bathroom and a half and one bedroom, so there's not much to see. And you're never going to see my bedroom. That would be weird. And you're never going to see my bathroom. That would be weird too. Oh, Discord. I had the camera turned off by accident because remember my phone. I had to stop my phone, so I just changed it. Now you can see me on Discord. Nobody had mentioned the camera was off. That's because I had the wrong setting on the camera when my phone jack broke. Thank you, Cricket. Yeah, exactly. The bedroom, yeah, and bathroom. I mean, I understand house tours. The problem is I have a small apartment, so you see my Callum. I'm like, who the hell wrote that, Callum? When I see your bedroom, fair enough. That's a good idea, Jason. Yeah, Jason said at the end of the show, I'll leave Discord and see if the sound sounds any better on YouTube. Good question there. Hello, crazy little dog. How are you? Yeah. Oh, really? We can try. Yeah. Oh my God. Go. Oh, she is. Oh, she is retrieving. Now I feel bad. Usually she doesn't play with toys, but she wants to play and then doesn't bring it back. Get it? Whoa! Go get it! Now I'm feeling bad because she's literally playing fetch with me. All right, bring it. You didn't bring it here. Where is it? Yeah. Okay. Now we're done as always. She dropped it all the way over there, and now I'm like, what am I supposed to do? Oh well. Thank you, Poquito. I know. I love you, but no. Hey, no. I know. That's getting a little pent up. I'm sorry, dog. I was running around today, and we didn't get to do our big walk we usually do in the afternoon. So that's why she's being a little. I know. I'm sorry. A little pent up, which I can appreciate. That was when they get too excited and she's like a little kid getting too much sugar or something. You know what I mean? It's like, okay. Oh God. Audio and video stopped again. Okay, somebody has to give me the update on what's going on in Discord. It's freezing. Jesus Christ. Oh God, everything's being really weird today. So Discord's being weird as well. I need to know how it's doing now. Katie says the sound is good. Is the video fine right now? Well, that was 15 minutes ago. Sound is good. Is the video fine? Well, video was off for a while, I think, because it was no image or sound for Jeffrey. That's weird. That's weird. Huh. Well, today's just a very bad day for all of this stuff. I think we've been having a really, yeah, FaceTime HD. Let me turn this on and off again. We'll be virtual, back to FaceTime HD. HD, there we go. Voice, I will turn it to MacBook Pro mic. Actually, I'll leave it on MacBook Pro mic for you as well on voice. So now Discord, did that change anything or it's all the same? Anyway, yeah, we're having a bad, yes, new haircut, got a new haircut today. I mean, but then again, YouTube's screwing up too, so I don't know what the hell's going on today. It's been a very bad day with technology here. Yep, Canadian elections, we're waiting for another 3-4 hours to find out what happens. So it could be a bandwidth thing. Maybe my internet's being goofy or something. I don't know. It's possible. That's true. I mean, I shouldn't have used too much internet, but you never know. You know, maybe they're throttling me and we don't even know it. You know, better this way or better this way. Yes, YouTube is hooked into Spain's electric grid. That's a good one. Like, very good one. Anyway, I don't think there are any stream settings on Discord. There aren't any stream settings that I know of. I don't think so. I don't think so. I don't think so. There's just video and voice settings, and that's it. There are no stream settings, really. Unless somebody knows of any, but I don't think so. And of course, nothing changed, so it's not like it should be any different. I don't think there is such a thing, CST. You think there's a setting on Discord for that? I'm not at all convinced that there's a setting for equality on Discord. I don't think so. I'm looking right now, but I don't think so. That's like a syndicate question. I'm looking here, but I don't see anything even vaguely. A server web page? Oh, well, that's a different thing. No, there's nothing here. Yeah, unless you know somewhere in Discord that has that setting, there's no such setting. Who am I hoping wins in Canada? I assume the left. I mean, I don't really follow Canadian elections enough, but I worry about the right being more in cahoots with Trump, you know? Now there's a fuzzy sound when I speak. I just can't anymore. I don't know what it's doing. I don't know what it's doing. I think it's my internet connection. I do wonder about that. Whether the internet's been Anderson Cooper. People say that occasionally. I find that funny. Not funny because I never think of myself as looking like Anderson Cooper, especially since like normally although it depends too. Like when my hair is short, it looks grayer. Like when my hair is longer, you get a little bit salt and pepper. Short, I've noticed, looks grayer, which is interesting. I forgot what I was going to look up here. Yeah. Yeah. I know. I was going to do a speed test. That's what I was going to do. Let's do a speed test and see just for fun. I think my internet might be acting up. I think you're right. Making me wonder. Let's see here. My internet generally is very fast. Very fast. Yeah, well, no, download, whatever. Let's see what the upload is. Upload matters. Maybe the upload speed's been, but again, on TikTok, it's been good. You know? Yeah, I was going to say, looking like Anderson's never a bad thing. You know? Upload's good. Upload's not bad. It's hovering around 55, 58. That's still pretty good. And considering it's giving me that upload with everything already running. 59. Yeah, the upload's 60. That's pretty good. You know, I mean, it's more than good enough for this. Oh, Kalispera Pingo. I could do one more here. That's a pretty good speed test. So I'm not sure what the problem is. Yeah, I don't know, guys. Something's just weird going today. I don't know. Yeah, too close to call. It'll be a few hours until they're. I'm not using Focusrite today. Today you are getting audio through my computer. I turned it off because we were having problems. So I don't know what's going on. You're just getting the audio through my computer right now. So there's no explanation for why it would be. Oh, CST? Okay, let me look at that when we're done. I'll look at that and look for to see if there's special settings I can look at. Yep. Anyway. I don't know. I still think maybe the internet is acting something weird's going on. I don't quite know why. That could be. Yep, yeah, Portugal, Spain, very weird. Oh, okay. Thanks, CST. Yeah, let me look. I'll look. That's what I needed to know because looking in the settings, I didn't see anything for stream settings. But I'll look when we're done, and I can switch to 1080p if it's higher. I mean, can you tell me what to look at really quick without clicking the video? I could always look at it really quick. I wish it were Maya or Olmec. It's Mexico. It's HOA in Mexico. It's made in Mexico. I wish it were real. It'd be really freaking cool if that were real. But no, that thing for the YouTubers and Discord folks, it's a really cool made in Mexico piece that was in the lobby of the Citizens Bank in Washington, D.C. I'm using, no, I've got Xfinity, whatever, Xfinity cable connection, whatever it is. My connection should be good. Get you some graphics for the TV. That's an interesting idea. I sort of forgot about that. That's true, I guess. As long as somebody tells me how to put them on the TV. I'm not quite sure how to just throw graphics on the TV, but if you can, sure, Jamie or Jaime. I think Jamie, but with your last name Velasco, I'm going to go with Jaime. As long as you can tell me how to put it up there too, sure. So, you know. Anyway. Oh. Anyway. Yeah, but Gunther, I assume like the U.S., it depends. Gunther's talking about Canadian results. It probably depends like where they're coming from and which districts is more conservative, more liberal area, or how many votes are in each. You've got to do the analysis of that before it really tells you, unless you're doing that, but I can't. Even in the U.S., I find it hard, let alone Canada. You know, oh, you're being funny. Okay, never mind. Gunther's being funny. So what else is new? All right, guys. I think we're kind of petering out here, or whatever. China's filling the void. Yes, we know that, sadly. The auctions are going to, I know, I'm going to have to get the auctions again. My computer is not helping. We know that. Of course, I'm a little afraid now as to whether the tariffs, I mean, I do need a new computer, whether the tariffs are happening. But you're right, the computer could be impacting things as well at this point. But as I said, it's been nice. It's a 7-year-old computer at least. It's been nice waiting, you know. But I'm just a little afraid of the prices now. I don't know whether the tariffs have kicked in yet on Apple because I'm getting another Apple because I use Apple. I can look and see. Let me look and see. It could be. I just hate because like the computer works. So I hate to buy a new computer if maybe it helps the sound because my computer works. You know, it's nice to have it as a backup, but it works. I'm kind of surprised it still works after 7 years, to be honest. Like the speed is fine, everything's fine. You know. Yeah, but I don't like to waste the money. You know, Seat Cleaner. I use Onyx too, but I don't need it. It works well. You know. Yeah. Same for instance 5 years ago. Interesting. Okay. Anyway, let's see. But like I said, I'm not thrilled about. I'm not thrilled about. It's going to probably be $2,500. I'm sure it will. I mean, look, I've got my notes from what you guys recommended before what computer I should get. You guys were very helpful on that. As far as with video and audio and everything else, you recommended exactly what processor and everything else. So I'll go. Now the only thing is whether they've upgraded those in it because that was probably a year ago. You know, are they the same? Well, you know, I'll do another. Well, you know what? I can, whatever. Let's end the show, so to speak. I have I will tell you right now, I've got, I think, a 2018 MacBook Pro 15-inch, I will bet you, is what it is. Let me look, and I will tell you. It is, about, hello. It is a 15-inch 2018 MacBook Pro. Okay. 2.6 gigs, 6-core Intel, blah, blah, blah. And what we had looked at that you guys said I should get, let me see, new computer is probably called it. Where is this? That's not very good. Hold on. Computer. I said, you guys said, hello, dog, what you doing? You guys had like helped me figure this out. Apparently I use the word computer a lot, which is kind of surprising. Interesting. It wasn't, was it? You guys told me exactly which computer to buy. Oh, come on. Come on. I'm going to go MacBook. I'm going to write that in here. Oh, here we go. It was actually, yeah, it was one of a couple of you guys. Yes. Yeah. Somebody did write me and say, oh, they asked somebody in the family, yeah, upgrading the unified memory from 18 gig to 36 gig. Um, um, the list of specs there. Oh, here we go. So these are the list of specs that were recommended a year ago. Apple M3 Pro chip with 12-core CPU, 18-core GPU, 16-core neural engine, 36 gig unified memory, 512 gigs of SSD storage, or 1 terabyte if you need. So the question becomes, if I need more than that now, meaning what is Apple offering now? Not I need more, but what is Apple offering now? You know, is that, I mean, is that pretty much, that was a year ago though, is that pretty much what I should be looking at anyway? I mean, I've got 500 gigs and I'm fine, so I don't necessarily need larger than 500 gigs. But is that setup pretty much the same? We think same money. I'll get the newest chipset. That would be 5 times faster. Well, I'm sure it'll be way faster than my current computer. I am not using an Xfinity router. I bought my own router only a few months ago, so it should be working fine. Oh, September is when Apple releases new processors. Yeah, I mean, you know, my computer's 7 years old. It may not matter, right? Yeah, I mean, I game, but well, I game sometimes on my computer. Sometimes. Yeah, I mean, the 1 terabyte. It depends how much more it is. Well, I'll have to look. I'll go and look. We can. I don't want to keep everybody here while we look at computers. I guess I can go look at. MacBook Air is pushing for you. It's fine for me because I'm doing this stuff. I need to make sure it's got a little more power to it. Yeah, I use Apple. I love Apple. I mean, Apple's a ripoff, but I like Apple. They're a total ripoff, but I do like them. That's the question. Well, I was just gonna. That's a good point. It is a write-off. Yes, that's the question. Is right. What's it going to cost in September? That's an excellent question. That was a very good question, actually. There. Oh. Hang on. Friend is texting. All right. Oh, that's what I was gonna. Well, what I don't like is, all right, let's get into. We're gonna do computer talk. Anybody who wants to leave can go. But I figure you guys can help me with my computer for a second, and we'll do computer geeky talk. But as I said, anybody who's not into this, you guys can sign off. We'll do a little bit of a computer talk. But Apple several years ago started playing games where they didn't want you to be able to upgrade your system on your own because you save money. And for example, my computer, I was able to buy my big MacBook, my iMac computer, and I saved, oh God, the amount of money. I probably saved $1,500 buying my own RAM, my own computer memory, because it was $500 for me to buy it, and it would have been like $2,000 something. It was close to, it was insane, the price that it would have been had I bought it from Apple, and I didn't. Well, now what Apple does with a lot of the computers, they solder the memory, they solder the hard drive memory, like the actual, how big your storage is, and they solder in the RAM, which is the processing memory. I guess I'm gonna call it a processor. It's hard to explain. I have a hard time explaining it because I'm not a computer geek to that degree. But they solder it in so you can't change it, so you can't upgrade it to something else. It's really freaking obnoxious, and you therefore have to buy it from them first, and it's crazy expensive. CST is weighing into. Oh, actually, sorry. Oh, CST is showing you one that's very good. Oh, you have the same one that's funny. Yeah, you don't have that strong of a computer. You're not editing, just streaming. I edit, but not that often. I do edit sometimes, but I think this computer is able to. Bottom line is, this computer can handle editing, right? Oh, sorry. What are you saying, CST? That you don't think I need a new computer? RAM is temporary memory. Yeah, I always get confused as to sort of how to quantify RAM. But yes, Apple kind of screws you no matter what. Let me just go to Apple Store just for fun, and we can look at the computers briefly while we are together. Again, anybody who doesn't care, leave, because we're going to talk about computers. At the end of the show, we get into weird topics anyway. We're going to talk computers for a second here. Let me look just to see, because I could, I mean, it's been 7 years. I've been a good boy, 7.5 years. It can be time for me to buy a new computer potentially. Aravosis after hours, exactly. MacBook Pro, yes. Sasha, oh my God, one second. A little more water for you. Whiny McWine yes. Well, I think, let's, yeah. I think she wants me to brush her teeth. All right, MacBook Pro. Come on. There we go. All right. 14-inch and 16-inch. That's weird. Wow. Oh my God, this price difference is horrific. Oh my God. 14 inches, $15.99. 16 inches, $24.99. It's $900 more for 2 inches larger. Screw that. Filter by chip. M4, M4 Pro, M4 Max. I think they changed everything. I no longer know what I'm buying here. Okay, guys, I no longer know what I should be looking at. That's insane. $900 more? That's insane for 2 inches larger. I mean, I'd rather not have a small screen, but I'm not paying $900. I've got an extra monitor anyway, yeah. So I can't get a PC. I'm not getting a PC. I left those things behind 20 years ago. I will never touch a PC again. I hate PCs. So what would be the chip? M4, M4 Pro, M4 Max. I can always ask ChatGPT, but ChatGPT is a liar. Anybody or no? CST or anybody else? Yeah, I mean the computer might be, but again, I think the computer might be fine. Okay, so you're saying don't get a new computer, is what you're saying. I mean, possibly I could do a cleanup. I'd rather not I am not looking forward to wiping this computer clean. It's got way too much stuff on it. It's going to take me days to get it set up again. You know, Kind Heart builds. I know my nephew builds PCs as well. He's built wonderful PCs. You know, MacBook Pro with M2 chip. I don't know what that means. Meaning, are you telling me that's what I already have? Oh, okay. Thank you. I'll do that, CST. Yeah, I'm going to do the cleanup first. But yeah, it's not terribly. I would need advice on which chip to get and everything. I'm going to guess just for fun. Let's say the M4 Pro. Yeah, see, the prices just start to soar. I would have to have somebody go through this with me and tell me which chip and which everything. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, but I've used Apple forever. I also PCs. My Apple has never had a problem. PCs, every time I got a PC, there was always some error that would occur, and it was always some, rebooting it and some error would pop up. I mean, it was just, I got tired of PCs. I like my Apple products, and I like my Apple products are all compatible with each other as well, but they charge extortionary prices. Yes. I mean, that's very true. The MacBook Air is the M2, I see. You know what? CST says they're going to provide me first with some cleanup tools and some suggestions for how to clean up my system on my computer, and we'll do that first. I don't know if it's going to matter, but we can try that first. Set up for days because I can wipe one of the things I used to do on all my computers, and I've done for other people. You do a factory reset on your computer, and it literally works the way it did out of the box. It's kind of magic. It works the way it is out of the box. The problem is, if you're like me, you've got tons of stuff on your computer that I want there. stuff on the hard drive. I mean, like files on the hard drive, programs. The programs have settings in them. The programs also require logging in. I don't want to have to log into every program and every add-on, and it's just like, right? It's a pain in the ass. That's the thing that I'm not looking forward to were I to do an entire reset. Oh, interesting. You've got to do well, and you've got to install the current operating system. Yeah, yeah. I mean, I've got the latest operating system supposedly. You know, no. I know I can set up a new one. Yes, I would do that. I meant wiping my drive right now. I could wipe the drive, reinstall, factory reset, and just keep the same computer. You know, I've already got a big external hard drive. Of course I do, Lisa. That's why I got my backups. Yeah. What do you want me to do on Activity Monitor right now? You mean or what? I'm going to look right. Sorry, we're doing our little computer. I can look right now at Activity Monitor. I know what Activity Monitor is. I just can't. Hold on. Activity. It's usually under Utilities, it used to be under Utilities. They changed things. There it is. It should be under Activity. Yeah. Yes, it's still under Utilities. Activity Monitor. All right, what do you want me to tell you from Activity Monitor? Well, yeah, I know that, but what exactly do you want me to look at? I mean, percent of CPU use? I mean, now Discord is using a ton of CPU. So is Google Chrome. Both of them are. I wonder if that could be causing a problem. Where do you find the load? I know Activity Monitor, but I don't use it a lot. Where's the load? I just don't know what's your load. What setting am I looking at to find that? You didn't lose me. I'm here. Oh, it hung up. Hold on. Oh, it is slowing down, though, actually. You know what? The entire machine is slowing down at the moment. Somehow Chrome is doing something evil. Whoa. Okay, this is interesting. Google, Chrome, and Discord are eating up massive amount of CPU, and I don't know why. I don't know if they can hear me, though. Can you hear me, or do I have to go out and back into Discord? Discord just shut itself down, which was very interesting. Can you guys hear me or not? Yeah, that might be no audio. Of course it is. All right, I just asked CST to message me their number, and we'll go from there. The Russians have found me. I know. This has been a really bad tech day here. All right, guys, let me call it quits. It's already an hour and a half anyway, right? I'm going to call it quits, all right? Because also this is eating up. It seems like it's eating up a ton of CPU. I don't know what the hell this is. All right, I'm going to go, guys. All right, TikTok, let me sign off first, and then we'll get you guys, CST and everybody else. Have a good night, guys. Well, the CPU, it's like eating. It kept jumping to like 150% usage or 140%. Discord helper and Google Chrome too, which I don't know what the hell's going on. Something weird's going on. Anyway, I took a picture of it to send it to CST and some of the others so they could see. It seemed a little weird to me that it jumped like that. All right, TikTok, let's talk tomorrow. Thanks for coming, guys. All right. TikTok going. Boom. Yeah, that was very weird. All right. Yeah, my computer's slowing down entirely now, and I don't know what the hell's going on. All right. Good night. All right. Let me all right. All right, guys, I'm trying to figure this out. Hold on. The Russians, exactly. First, they went after Spain and Portugal's electricity, and now they're going after me. All right, YouTube, have a good night. All right.